Did you know that what you eat for breakfast could be quietly working against your health, as a man especially where it matters most? If you're over 60 and you've been noticing things like weak erections, low energy, or that strange numbness below the belt, it's easy to assume that age is the problem. But here's the truth. It's not just about getting older. In fact, your morning routine, specifically your breakfast, might be playing a bigger role than you ever imagined. Now, I know. Most men don't think much about breakfast. A cup of coffee, maybe a piece of toast, if anything at all. But what I've learned after helping thousands of men across the country is this. Your body is asking for support the moment you wake up. And if you don't give it the right fuel, it simply can't perform like it used to. My name is Dr. Lavra, and I've spent over 30 years in urology, specializing in men's health and performance as they age. And here's what I've seen time and time again. Men blaming age for problems that are actually fixable if they just knew what to change. Let me ask you this. If you could improve your circulation, feel more energy in your lower body, and restore strength and confidence just by changing what you eat in the morning, would you do it? Because that's exactly what I'm about to show you. There are 5 specific foods, simple, natural ingredients you already recognize that can help restore blood flow, support pelvic muscle strength, and boost your confidence. No pills, no procedures, just real food working with your body instead of against it. The best part? These foods aren't exotic or expensive. They're things you've probably eaten before, but maybe not in a way that actually supports your health as a man over 60. And if you stay with me until the end of this video, I'm going to reveal one surprising food combination that many of my patients say made a noticeable difference in less than a week. So if you're serious about feeling stronger, standing taller, and restoring vitality where you may have thought it was lost forever, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Let's kick things off with one of the most powerful and most misunderstood foods you probably already have in your fridge. Whole eggs. Yes, I said whole eggs. Not just the whites, the yolks too. For years, eggs got a bad reputation. Maybe you've heard the warnings: cholesterol this, heart disease that. But here's what science and decades of clinical experience have taught me. If you're a man over 60 and you're not eating whole eggs regularly, you're missing out on one of the simplest, most effective ways to restore blood flow and strength in your lower body. Why? It's all in the nutrients. The yolk, the part so many people throw away, is rich in vitamin D, B12, choline, and one particularly important amino acid called leucine. Leucine helps trigger muscle repair, including the deep, often ignored muscles in your pelvic floor. And those muscles are critical. They're the ones that support erections, control your bladder, and even help keep you steady and balanced throughout the day. And here's something most men don't know. When circulation drops with age, these muscles are often the first to suffer. But give them the right nutrients at the right time, especially first thing in the morning, and they respond fast. Let me tell you about Richard, a 67-year-old retired mechanic. He came to me frustrated and embarrassed. "Doc," he said, "I haven't had morning wood in over 2 years. I figured that part of my life was just over." We made one simple change: 2 whole boiled eggs every morning. Nothing fancy. No shakes, no pills, just real food. 4 weeks later, he called me, laughing like a teenager. "Doc," he said, "I woke up like I was 40 again." That's the power of feeding your body what it's really asking for, when it needs it most. So if your current breakfast is just coffee and maybe a slice of toast, your body is running on empty, especially when it comes to the nutrients that support male vitality. Whole eggs are nature's circulation starter, delivering exactly what your lower body needs to repair and perform. Think of them as fuel for the engine you still have under the hood. And remember, this isn't about perfection. It's about giving your body a real chance to function the way it was designed to. Starting with something as simple as 2 eggs could be your first step toward feeling like yourself again. Let's move on to the next simple breakfast upgrade. That's been a game changer for many of my patients: oats with chia seeds. Now I know, oats might not sound all that exciting. But trust me, when it comes to your circulation, especially as you get older, this humble bowl of grains can do a whole lot more than fill you up. It can actually help clean out your arteries, and that matters more than ever past 60. Here's the deal. A lot of men either skip breakfast altogether or go for the quick stuff, things like sugary cereals, white toast, maybe a muffin. The problem? These kinds of foods spike your blood sugar, inflame your arteries, and over time, they narrow the very pathways your blood needs to travel through to keep you feeling strong and steady down below. But oats, especially old-fashioned or steel-cut, oats are packed with a special kind of fiber called beta-glucan. This fiber doesn't just help lower cholesterol, it also helps scrub the inside walls of your blood vessels clean. Think of it as a gentle sweep that clears out the buildup so blood can flow freely again, especially to the muscles and nerves in your pelvis. Now here's where things get even better. Add a tablespoon of chia seeds, and you've just upgraded that bowl of oats into a true circulation-supporting powerhouse. Chia seeds are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, magnesium, and potassium-3 nutrients your blood vessels love. They help reduce inflammation, relax arterial walls, and support smoother, stronger blood flow. Let me share a story with you. Henry, one of my patients, came to me just a few months after retiring. He said, "Doc, I feel like my body's shutting down. I'm tired all the time, my legs feel heavy, and intimacy practically non-existent." We looked at his diet. Sure enough, he was starting every day with boxed cereal loaded with sugar. I suggested something different: warm oats with chia seeds, a handful of blueberries, and a pinch of cinnamon. 2 weeks later, he called me back and said, "I'm waking up more energized, my legs feel lighter, and I'm sleeping better too." And yes, he noticed improvements where it counts. See, this isn't just about breakfast, it's about setting your body up to work better all day long. When you start your morning with foods that open up your arteries instead of clogging them, you're sending your body the message: let's get moving. Let's restore. And the beauty of oats and chia seeds? They're affordable, easy to prepare, and incredibly effective when eaten regularly. So tomorrow morning, before you reach for that processed cereal or skip breakfast altogether, ask yourself, what do my arteries need right now? A warm bowl of oats might just be the answer. Now, let's talk about a fruit that might surprise you: watermelon. You probably think of it as just a refreshing summer snack, something you slice up at a barbecue or enjoy by the pool. But what if I told you it's actually one of nature's most powerful tools for men's health, especially in the bedroom? Watermelon is packed with a natural compound called citrulline. Once it enters your body, it converts into L-arginine, which then boosts nitric oxide production. Why does that matter? Because nitric oxide is what helps your blood vessels relax and expand, allowing more blood to flow, particularly to the places you need it most as a man. Sound familiar? That's because it's the same exact biological pathway used by many popular medications. The only difference? With watermelon, you're getting it from a natural, whole food without the synthetic chemicals or side effects. Here's the key though: timing. Watermelon works best when you eat it on an empty stomach, like first thing in the morning or just before breakfast. And while the juicy red part is great, don't toss the rind. That pale green part near the skin actually contains the highest concentration of citrulline. It may not be sweet, but it's incredibly effective. You can blend it into a smoothie or chew on it slowly. Your body will thank you. Let me tell you about Bill, a patient of mine in his early 70s. He came in laughing when I suggested adding watermelon to his morning routine. "Doc," he said, "I thought that was just picnic food." But he agreed to give it a try, just a few slices first thing in the morning, rind included. 1 week later, he called me with a surprised tone in his voice. "I don't know what's going on, but something's definitely waking up down there." We both had a good laugh, but what he was feeling was real. That's what happens when you improve blood flow the natural way your body responds, quickly and powerfully. Watermelon isn't a magic bullet, but when combined with the other breakfast strategies we've talked about, it can make a big difference. And it's one of the easiest habits to start. No cooking, no prep. Just slice, eat, and let your circulation take it from there. So the next time you walk past the produce section, or think about skipping breakfast, remember that watermelon could be the missing piece to feeling more alive, more energized, and more confident starting in less than a week. Let's move on to what I like to call the circulation stabilizer, a warm, grounding combination that can change the way your body feels from the moment you get out of bed. I'm talking about steamed sweet potato with a pinch of Celtic salt. Now, this one tends to surprise people. Most don't think of sweet potatoes as a breakfast food, let alone something that could help their blood flow. But once you understand how your body works in those first few minutes after waking, it all starts to make sense. When you wake up, your body is running on empty. Your muscles, especially the ones in your legs and lower body, are depleted. Your nervous system needs support. And your blood vessels are waiting for the signal that it's safe to open up and function properly. That's where sweet potatoes come in. They're packed with complex carbohydrates that release energy slowly and steadily, no blood sugar spikes, no crash later in the day. This kind of clean, sustained energy is exactly what your muscles need to work smoothly and confidently. But here's the magic touch: Celtic sea salt. Just a small pinch of this unrefined, mineral-rich salt provides over 80 essential trace minerals, things like magnesium, potassium, and calcium, which are critical for healthy muscle contractions, proper nerve communication, and balanced blood pressure. When you pair these two together, warm sweet potato and mineral salt, you're not just eating. You're actively stabilizing your circulation, your hydration, and your entire lower body function. And the results can be fast. Take Thomas, for example. He's 70, and he came to me with a common complaint: heavy, numb legs and a dull ache in his groin every morning. He had tried stretching, hydration, even prescription meds, but nothing helped. So I suggested something simple. Before his usual breakfast, try half a steamed sweet potato, warm, with a small pinch of Celtic salt and a glass of warm water. 3 days later, he called me sounding stunned. "Doc," he said, "my legs feel lighter. I stood up this morning without grabbing the nightstand for support." That's the difference. Real, nutrient-rich food can make, especially when you eat it when your body needs it most. This combination isn't trendy or fancy. It's deeply nourishing. It supports not just your energy, but your stability, your hydration, and even your sensitivity down below, things that often fade with age, but don't have to. So if you've been waking up feeling tired, stiff, or like your lower body is dragging behind the rest of you, this might be the missing piece. A warm, earthy bite of sweet potato with Celtic salt could be the simple shift that helps you stand taller and move more freely all day long. Now that you know what these 5 powerful breakfast foods can do for your energy, strength, and circulation, it's time to talk about what really makes the difference: taking action. Because let's face it, knowledge doesn't change anything unless you put it to use. And the good news? You don't have to overhaul your entire lifestyle or make it complicated. The key is starting small and starting now. Pick any one of the 5 foods we've talked about, maybe 2 whole eggs, maybe oats with chia seeds, or a few slices of watermelon first thing in the morning. It doesn't have to be perfect. What matters is that you begin. Tomorrow morning, give your body something it can truly use. Something that supports blood flow, muscle repair, and energy right from the start of your day. Why the first hour after waking? because that's when your body is most ready to absorb nutrients. Your blood vessels are more responsive. Your muscles are hungry for fuel. And your nervous system is actively resetting for the day ahead. When you give your body what it needs in that window, you're not just filling your stomach, you're setting the tone for how you move, how you feel, and how confidently you show up for life. Skip breakfast or start with the wrong foods, and it's like sending your body into battle without armor. And here's something I've seen time and again in my practice. Small changes, when done consistently, lead to big results. I've had men tell me that after just a few days of making this shift, their legs feel lighter, their steps more stable, their mornings more energized. After a couple of weeks, they're sleeping better, moving easier, and yes, feeling more like themselves. Again, in moments of intimacy. This isn't about going on a strict diet or following a complicated routine. It's about making a commitment to fuel your body like it deserves. One small intentional choice each morning can ripple out into every part of your day and your life. So here's my challenge to you. Don't wait. Don't tell yourself you'll start Monday or next week. Start tomorrow. Pick one food, prepare it, eat it mindfully, and then watch what happens, not just in your body, but in your mindset. You have more power than you think. And it begins with the first thing you put on your plate. You've made it this far, and that tells me something important. You care. You're not coasting through this phase of life. You're paying attention. And that alone puts you ahead of most. Now, I want to leave you with one last thought. Because even with the right foods, even with the best intentions, there's one mistake I see too many older men make. It's not forgetting a meal or skipping a supplement. It's this: giving up on the belief that change is still possible. Let me be clear, it is. I've worked with men in their 60s, 70s, even late 80s who thought they were too far gone, too tired, too broken. But the moment they decided to take their mornings seriously, everything began to shift. Their blood flow improved, their energy came back, their confidence returned, not because of a miracle, but because they took control of what they could. Their choices: these 5 foods, whole eggs, oats with chia seeds, watermelon, steamed sweet potato with Celtic salt. Each one speaks directly to the biology of a man over 60. They're not fads, they're not trends. They're real, functional tools your body understands and responds to. But none of this matters if the foods stay in the fridge. The real transformation begins when you say, I'm not done. I'm not giving up. I'm choosing to fight back with knowledge, with intention, and with something as simple as what's on my plate. So ask yourself, tomorrow morning, what story are you going to tell your body? Are you going to skip breakfast, grab a donut, drink only coffee, and tell your body it's not worth the effort? Or are you going to feed it like you still believe in yourself? Because that belief, that willingness to choose yourself again and again, is the thing that changes everything. Got the tools. Now it's up to you to use them. This isn't the end. It's the beginning of your next chapter. And it starts with breakfast.